Hey everyone, Koyo here. So I'm here with another in-depth analysis of one of the characters from SD Hiryu and Densetsu, having returned from Flying Dragon, Ryumaou. Thank you to SSJ Soniku for re-motivating me to come back and do more analysis videos on these characters. For those of you who are wondering, wait, what happened to all the other videos? This might not be for you, so don't worry. As usual, just to get right into things, we're going to be using the glove as we do on every character. It unlocks their capabilities in being able to cancel from normals into special moves. And then we're not going to be wearing the tree medal because, well, not at first, because that increases the amount of launchers. You can do up to like 5 or even relaunchers, etc. So let's get right into it. So Ryumaou is a little bit, I don't know if he was play tested in this version of the game. Maybe he was also a little bit weird in the original. It's been a long time, but we'll get into that. So let's just go through his basic normals. He has a punch, which can go into a Ryuhi kind of like kick combo string with the high and the low finisher. He has a very far, whoops, that always happens. Back forward punch automatically does his forward special, but he has an insanely far-reaching mid punch. This is probably the same move that E Quaker does, who is the mummy dude, little mummy pharaoh person. But this punch, even though it has like just a teeny bit of windup, this is actually a really nice poke. As I'll go into that. He has basically a Weiler kick, a double kick. It sends them flying after you get the second hit on, and of course, like Weiler, you can even do a low kick at the end of that instead to mix up your opponent. Not bad stuff, really good poking tools, really good mix-up tools. And then finally, his forward kick is a launcher, which once again, really far-reaching. Like, this guy is all about like maybe having a good mid-range into whatever little combos you might pull. And then finally his jabs, his crouch attacks are a little bit odd. His punch is really glitched, so you can do something like that for some reason. I don't know why. But this is going to be a factor later in the rest of his combos. For some reason, his punches have a weird like recovery window that lets you just chain into anything. I don't know. And then his low kick is your standard low sweep kick. Nothing too crazy there. Since he has a larger model, this might be among one of the farther reaching sweeps in the game. So he actually does have a really nice advantage there. Alright, so now let's actually talk about what the heck is up with Ryumaou. We get into his specials in just a bit. So, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. He also has a, punch, low kick, and then, kick. But here's the weird thing. So, oddly, like, you shouldn't be able to go into this string of kicks from anything else but, punch, and then kick, and then there's, just a normal kick or a low kick. But here's the weird thing. This is really odd. So if you do for some reason, if you throw and I think this is a glitch. I really do think this is a glitch, but dare I say, this is just now a hidden mechanic of his too. For some reason, you can go into the low attack version, and then he does this. This is actually not supposed to happen. If you look at his move list, now, I'm not saying that there can't be moves that aren't listed, but if you look at his move list, this isn't a thing. If you do low kick, you're only supposed to get a little jump spinning kick from him. Oh yeah, I forgot, he has a punch kick. Not entirely, it's just a good quick poke thing, but that's normal behavior. That was normal behavior, but in some cases you get this, or even the high version, but I let off the down button. I don't know why, like, I don't know what makes this happen. It's a literal, I'm really 100% sure this is a glitch. But if it happens, it's insanely good, because one, like I said, it's not intended. And then two, the mix-up potential off of getting such a quick low attack that stuns. Now, if you pay attention, look at how, like, I can throw a punch while he's still recovering. So if you get this little combo off, not only do you get some good damage right off the bat, but you can actually chain this into like one of his special moves or a super. So, right? All right, let's talk about specials, because that's otherwise like, aside from these weird punch glitches that let you. Oh yeah, by the way, let me open up the where is it? Like the. Oops, I'll try to get it. That combos! So, I mean, maybe it's because he's a boss character, so he's allowed to be a little broken? But this is really, really odd. Oh yeah, that's right, speaking of, okay, so his jab as well is also a little bit odd. So the first punch can be cancelled into itself somehow. It's really weird. I'll try to do it as that. You saw how it said 2. So for some reason, if you like time it just right, you can even like it. This is really hard to do, but there's a specific frame timing to just cancel. Well, not cancel, but like I don't just perfect timing into his jab, which already puts some stun on the opponent. He just is somehow, I don't know if it's because of the punch kick timing, but you can like if you were to just mash out the combination of what you're trying to do, like you won't get it as fast. But if you just wait a brief second, for some reason, certain moves come out of his jab much faster. I don't know. It's an odd quirk that he has. There we go. We got. It's tough to do though. Like I don't think it's gonna have much of a good little like application, but it's just a weird thing that I've noticed. But his specials. Oh, whoops! That's his super. Go me. You might be familiar with that from Flying Dragon, but regardless. So his neutral special is a nice little far-reaching. Oops, we just went into his back. I was just trying to go backwards. So this is a really far-reaching overhead, and the stun that you get on this is just wild, letting you combo into pretty much almost anything you want. So that's good to take advantage of. Just a nice little, way to mix up your opponent. Maybe they're blocking or they're gonna go on the offense, or and you just mess with the timing by using that special, and you could do quite a bit out of it. His forward special you saw very early, which is just it's a really nice little lunging forward punch with some good range on it. 3 hits. It is what it is. I'll talk about its uses later when we get to the special move. His back special is just a cool, badass looking, triple kick combo. Kind of a hunting hawk, like in Tekken 3 or Tekken 2 even, with Baekdo-san or Hwarang. And then his down or up special is this hip thrust. He hip thrusts so hard that he creates like a little fireball. You can't really do anything after this though, like not without insanely good timing, and even then I don't think it's really gonna be too optimal. Not really worth trying to get something out of it, but as is on its own you can't really do much. We'll go into that later. Oh yeah, with that being all of his specials, so with the glove you can try to make that move go a little bit higher, but then you could like get a little crouch punch off of it. But as you know, you can't really do much off of a crouch punch. You can't literally cancel off of a crouch punch. You can only cancel off of standing moves where their feet are planted on the ground for the most part. So I mean, we'll get into what down and up special is better for in just a bit. However, we have one more special to cover, which is a projectile that causes poison. The moment you hit the opponent, they are struck. They're struck with poison, and their health is going to drain a few ticks, I believe. This is a very annoying move because of the way Ryumaou works. Say you do this special and then you toss this out, they're going to wake up into that and they're going to have to respect it. They'll just have to block because of its long and giant hitbox. So it's actually a really good technique, along with the fact that you could cancel into it with his big-ass arms and legs. So, technically, you could just kind of keep right out of distance with his little forward punch, and just keep pelting out some projectiles. Kick will make you move, a little closer, which maybe you don't want if you're just trying to mess with your opponent. But still, the fact that this is like a little thing he could do. Whoops! I'll try to also like show it in basic comboing. Like, you can just toss it in there to just pelt off, tick off some damage. And then finally, okay, so you can of course cancel into any of his other moves, and anytime the opponent is grounded, like from his back special or his neutral special, you could just go straight into his down special because of its incredible hitbox. This thing can sometimes even hit on the very last second, so if I were to do this special off of a juggle, I'll try to do the hip thrust as late as possible. Oops. I probably should use the back special. And like, you could get them really close to the ground and then just go for that. And you get a good chunk of damage off of it. I'll try to show that. Oh, right. Well, oh yeah, no, even if they have the poison stat on, that's fine. So let's... Oops. I wanted to do the axe kick, and then... Oops. I don't know why it didn't come out there. That was a little bit weird. But, you get a good bit of damage off of that, so now when you start kind of opening up the combos that you could do, let's say, like... Oh, man. There's a few things that you could do. Oops. I'm so sorry. I was, like, practicing all this, too. But yeah, like, you can do some cool little things here and there. Finally, what was it? Like, you could just toss it in whenever you want, really. So most likely, like, what you'll probably be doing is a little bit of just that to end everything. And then, of course, you could toss in the occasional projectile. But you can't really do much off of the... Like, even if you toss in a knee, I think you would need the tree medallion for that to really work. But, you could still, like, at least, just mess with the opponent that way. You're not going to really have insanely big combos. And, like, his special game is alright. It's his supers that we should be more concerned about. And then just to actually, show his throw is just good for setting up more projectiles and being a complete butt face to your opponent. I really think it's all about that boss mentality, just to be a complete butt face. Oh yeah, that's right. He has down special. I almost forgot about that. So down up special. He summons a fist and launches it on them. Now there's some setups for this, because it's just a long-lasting hitbox. Once again, forcing your opponent to have to respect you by blocking and all that kind of stuff. But it does give you a little bit of a freebie, essentially, if it lands. Obviously, you could be interrupted from it, but if you just go into it this way, and then your opponent doesn't respect it, you might be able to get a combo off, you might not. It really depends on your timing, as well as a combination of just what move you follow into, like that. It's something to just play around with, something to make you feel a little cool, I guess. So his super, you already saw how it was. Very basic, just charging into the opponent, and then charging backwards, setting up for more projectiles. It has good range, so you could just maybe punish your jumping opponent with it. You could go from pretty far off, toss a projectile with some good timing, and make them wake up into it. But it's mainly a punish, because say you try to do some combos with it, you might drop it. So not always the safest to go with, unless you go into a specific type of combo. But even then, it could still drop and just leave you open. However, I don't recall him having this as a super in the first game. I could be wrong, but his up super, which I consider his second super, is this nice little combo that reminds me of something they've been giving like all the characters. A little mixture of Weiler's new super and Hayato's new super, where it just launches the opponent upwards. Oh, or even Yuka. And this is actually really good, because not only is it a combo starter, but you can also, if I wanted to get in the kick, if like you could go into it and then go into it again for some insanely good damage. And this is with no modifiers or anything, you know? This is completely possible without the glove. You can combo into your supers, so this one's a little bit more reliable, but obviously its purpose is more so that you combo into it, or even just, you know, toss it as a little surprise, you know, toss it any further away, and, you know, you're just asking to block the entire thing or jump over him. But you can get some cool little, oh, except for that. Certainly not for coming off of, like, you know, knocking the, you know, was it face planting the opponent. But, you know, it's pretty cool nonetheless. But otherwise, you know, much better than using his little tackle. What you can do, though, is say you do go into... Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Okay, I'm sorry, but you can actually combo because of the stun. I mean, you could do this regardless, but due to the stun this move has, the low kick in his combo, you could cancel into... not cancel, but you could just link right into his, was it his knee? Right into his knee. And then you could go into whatever you want. So one way that might work going into the tackle, you have to cancel into it though. You don't wanna leave it as a buffer. There we go. This should work. Yeah. So that's one way you could go right into the tackle if you really wanted to. Just because of how much stun time this has. And just do whatever you want. You could literally imagine things off of that one sweep. Alright, so finally he has two other supers. He has his, what was it? He has a super projectile, which, you know, it's like what you'd expect of any super projectile. Multiple hitting, all that kind of good stuff. Inflicting poison in his case. And of course, you could, you know, use it to, you know, combo at the end of anything. So, say we go into that. Oh, whoops! Damn it! Press the wrong button. Boop, 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 and then boop, boop. Oh no, I did the wrong thing. See, that's why you don't use that one. But you get it. You basically, you'd be able to cancel right into that as well. It's just another option. It's a projectile option. Heck, I mean, you know, if you really wanted to, just like how you could kind of, you know, go into your projectile, you could, you know, just as easily use the little same method, but with the super, to just be a butt face to your opponent. Finally, his other super is awesome. It's a throw. Was it you know, like a little charging in throw? It just, you know, kind of breaks their neck and then smashes them into the ground. In terms of its range, I can't remember. Yeah, it was pretty short. So what you could do with this though is you could go from that one super I showed you, little combo super, right? So let's say we do, oh! I don't know why I do that, but you go boom, and then boom, 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 and then boom, 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 and then boop, boop. Oh, it's still gonna work. And then boop, and boop. I think this is just like, this feels like the equivalent of King and, you know, like Tekken, where you do his aerial throw, like you do the out of the air throw. So you just, you know, whenever you launch an opponent, you could grab them and slam them into the ground. This is just that, I think. This is just meant to be used as like a nice little combo finisher to really rub it into your opponent. Not to mention, if you know how the stats work in this game, you know that fire element represents your physical attack, wind element represents your throws, right? And then electric element represents your projectiles, right? So that means he has a super for each of the elements that you can raise. So if you want him to be more grappling focused, you can do that, and you have a super to really lay in the damage, and so on and so forth. So Ryumaou is, very rounded. He does have, as I've mentioned, he has some wind up on his attacks, but as long as you're kind of poking your opponent out, I don't think that might be too much of a major concern. But for the most part, he is a boss feeling character, but definitely maybe needed a little more playtesting with some of the weird glitchy stuff he has going on. Regardless, let's move on to his other form. Actually, and then before I jump to his other form, which doesn't have too many... besides different supers, there is one big difference, but I did want to at least show the, his little counters. Of course, on punch, it'll just be a deflect, but then on kick, it is pretty cool what happens. Boom, boom! Literally just lifts him in. Oh, you gotta love it. And then finally, with the tree medallion, of course, you can relaunch your opponent multiple times. In this case, in terms of what I was talking about, you do get some more fun options to play with. So you could just kind of relaunch. Whoops, I'm going too fast for my own good. But you could kind of. Oh my gosh, I just want to get a forward kick in. What the heck? I don't know what's up with the timing, but. Oh my gosh. There we go. But you can get some fun moves in that way, just basically have more fun with your opponent, do all sorts of cool specials, and I think correctly, can he do that? Because I know the move does come out fast, but not fast enough really. Also, the range on this is pretty good. Just figured I'd show that. But yeah, just more fun to have. Especially, going into stuff like that. Oh, and if you're wondering if, that was blockable, I'll just show you. Oops, there we go. Just need neutral guard. Oops. Come on. There we go. So, yeah. Once again, you can just force the person to have to respect the punch, whether they like it or not. So, on to True Ryumaou. So, True Ryumaou has 3 big differences. Everything else is mostly the same. So, the one big difference is, you might not be able to see it too well, but he is much taller. And this leads to a lot of issues with just how he plays. I don't even know if True Ryumaou was usable in the original Flying Dragon. But regardless, yeah, too tall. So this makes certain moves, not work. So I think, which one was it? Oh wait, now it's working. Okay, that's weird. So, oh wait, no, it was the normal version. So the not glitch version of that move. There we go. Just misses. Outright misses. Like, what is that? Also, high kicks can miss in certain cases. So certain combos that are normally possible are not possible unless you get really close. And then finally, what was it? There was something else that doesn't work right. I think it was in regards to that. He's so tall that his entire hitbox just moves like an entire one whole foot above the end. So everything must be comboed into off of a launcher just to make it work. Otherwise, does that mean his low attacks work? No, not entirely. Not without really insane timing, but yeah. So he's too tall for his own. The next change, aside from also was it? Since he has such a, since he's much taller. I think they just made him larger overall, so this even works from a greater distance away, which is just really dumb. Anyway, so the other big difference we have here is his stats are 15 all across, except for his projectile stat, which is 20. So his projectiles do an insane amount of damage, just further encouraging the poke-based play. Now you could just help them from even further away, keeping them right out of jabbing or kicking distance, and just, boop, I'm just gonna keep you at a distance and just keep throwing projectiles at your face. I mean, why else would they make his projectiles overpowered? And then finally, he has new supers. So every super is different except for his choke grab one. I would say his projectile super is different in its own way. Still the same look and everything, but the damage and I think even the amount of hits or how often it hits is greatly increased. But here's his typical super. No longer does he charge back, he just literally charges at the person for an insane amount of damage. This is his normal damage minus throws. I still have the tree medallion on, but comboing into it is still, like, not the easiest. Oops, I wanted to go for a kick there because kicks kind of keep the... Why won't his kick come out? That is really odd. What? Wait. Okay, no, I'm literally, for some reason... That is, okay, I'll try going very precise. There we go. Okay. So, okay, there we go, but... No, I'm so sorry, There we go. Yeah, not really the best for comboing into. Very rare if you do, unless you're just really insane with your timing, unlike myself. But, you can always go for a big stun and then just, boom, hit them with that. His combo super is not here. His little punchy punch uppercut super is yeah. So getting into his supers will not be as easy. Of course, you can always go for his grab super and then snap the neck and woo, bam, right? And then finally, what was it? His projectile super. So it hits a little more consistently, even, what was it, in the air? Oh wait, what? How did that come out? Oh, I see the input. Beautiful. But yeah, just, I don't know, it works a lot better. And then finally, his up super. His up super is completely different. As you see, there's a different type of poison type now that, well, actually not different. The same as before, where his, I clearly did a quarter circle command. I guess I have to do down forward. But yeah, if you saw earlier, his health had turned orange when I did the other special. And now it's purple because of the super. But his up super, yeah, this thing. So, like, how does that work? Now, you might have seen this when you were playing Flying Dragon, but essentially, if you're standing just close enough to the opponent, you can just make them vanish to who knows where and basically kill them. This is the actual normal damage. I'm not wearing any projectile modifiers. It could be a throw. It actually could be a throw. But, yeah. And if you activate it close, you'll just basically get that guaranteed. So, you are a boss character. Of course, some things are a little bit quirky, but now the question is, can you combo into it? Not particularly, no. Maybe if you, oops. See, it doesn't really let you cancel into it either, so you might be able to just get free of this one. But, it's a thing he has. But yeah, that's the main differences, and that's all of Ryumaou. Sufu does not count. He's a Ryuhi clone, not a Ryumaou clone. But beyond that, yeah. Ryumaou is an interesting character, interesting boss. He has, like, some cool looking moves, but I would say he isn't just someone like beyond this true, beyond the Shin Ryumaou form. He's not really someone you could easily abuse, but you can abuse if you know what you're doing. I think that applies to any character in this game, though, because this game is just broken as heck to a degree. Probably broken as heck. But regardless, that was my in-depth analysis. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm actually glad I was able to keep that at 30 minutes exact, well, sort of. But yeah, regardless, hope you all have a good day. That was a look at Ryumaou, and yeah, have fun when you unlock him, I guess. I'm sure there's a lot of other things you could do if you attach some of those projectile-based equipments on him, like the fire element or the ice element kind of stuff. But regardless, yeah, that's a look at Ryumaou.